this election will be the first election that I will be able to vote in. Can you tell me why should I vote for you and the PPP government?
Because I'm confident that we have the best policy to deal with our youth. I am confident we have the best policy to deal with the development of our country as a whole. And you have seen over the last 3 years, over the last 5 years, how much we have been investing in the infrastructure to take our country forward. First, in the social infrastructure. In education, we spoke about that fairly extensively. In health, we built hospitals in every single region. We provide materials, try to equip them. I've just come back from Wakenham, an island in the Essequibo River. For the first time, they have a lab in the hospital that they can do a lot more of the work there. They have their many of the things that they didn't have before and had to bring patients to Georgetown for. They can do it right there now. So we have a lot of those social facilities in the villages right across our country at this point in time. And at the same time, we're moving to improve the physical infrastructure. Like I talked about the hydropower that we want. They talk about the road from Linden to Lethem that will connect us to the rest of the continent, increase our trade with those countries. We're talking about a deep water harbor, again, that will help. We have to prepare for the future. Right now, the Panama Canal is being expanded. Bigger ships will be coming, smaller ships will be phased out. We will have to look at transportation with 30, 40, 50,000 ton ships instead of 10,000, 5,000 tons. And therefore, we have to have a deep water harbor to be ready to deal with that type of situation as they come. All of those things that we're putting in place that will create bigger employment for our people, higher paying jobs. And the policies that we have had, both at the level of economy, that has kept our economy growing. In the light of an international situation where from the end of 2007, beginning of 2008, when the world was gripped with a financial and economic crisis that impacted heavily on the Caribbean, Guyana is one of the few countries that have had continuous economic growth. Over the last 9 years, we have had continuous economic growth. That is the longest period of sustained economic growth in the living history, living memory of our people, which shows very clearly that we have good governance, good management of our economy in the light of an international atmosphere that is not so conducive, in the light of a situation in our country where we have an opposition that is obstructionist. I will say that we have done remarkably well. And with us winning back the majority in the National Assembly, our country can move at a much more rapid pace than the 4.5%, 5% growth rate. We can go to 7, 8, or even 10% growth per year. That is why I think it is important for young people to support the PPP Civic in this election so that we can take our country forward in a very rapid way to win, to be competitive, and our country can become even more attractive to people coming here to invest. Well, if you don't have any more questions, I want to take the opportunity to thank you very much for being here. It's very nice to have you here. It's always stimulating to have discussion with young people to try to have a better grasp. It's always more important to speak directly to young people to hear their concerns. And I want to assure you that our encounter will help us greatly in crafting our manifesto and in going forward to make our country a better place. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.